Fans of Basketball Wives, get ready. One of the most familiar faces on the show has been completely erased, not just from the cast, but from the entire franchise. Brooke Bailey, known for her strong presence and emotional storylines, has been quietly fired from season 12 of the hit VH1 reality series. But this isn't just a regular casting change. This is something deeper, something more final. Brooke has not only been removed from the main cast, she's also been cut from all future storylines, spin-offs, reunion episodes, and even other reality TV appearances. It's like she was wiped clean from the show's history. Fans are calling it a complete blackout. What's even more shocking is how quickly it happened. One moment, Brooke's name was still listed in promotional materials and show announcements. The next, it was gone as if someone had pressed delete without telling anyone. There was no public statement, no warning, and no farewell episode, nothing. So why are people saying this feels like more than just a regular reality TV feud? And what really caused Brooke Bailey's sudden and complete removal? Let's break it down. Even those who work behind the scenes on Basketball Wives were surprised by Brooke's removal. This wasn't just a creative decision to shake up the cast. It went much further than that. Not only was her invitation to the reunion pulled at the last minute, but there were also no goodbye interviews or social media farewells. She just disappeared. Sources close to the production say that Brooke is no longer allowed to participate in any VH1-related projects, including spin-offs. And the person behind the decision wasn't just anyone, it was Shaunie Henderson, the longtime executive producer and original creator of Basketball Wives. Shaunie reportedly made the call on her own, without needing input from other executives or producers. That's what has people talking. Shaunie's decision was made behind closed doors and came without explanation. But those familiar with the show say that when Shaunie acts this quickly and without reason, it usually means there's something serious going on, something the public might never know. But what if something happened behind the scenes that led to all this? Something that couldn't be ignored? Well, it turns out something did happen. Something tragic and possibly much darker than fans ever expected. Back in 2022, Brooke Bailey's world was shattered when her daughter, Kyla Bailey, passed away in a devastating car crash. Kyla was just 25 years old young, full of life, and with her whole future ahead of her. At the time, news reports called it a tragic accident. But even then, there were questions. Police said it was a high-speed crash, but something about the scene didn't make sense. There were no brake marks on the road. No sign that Kyla tried to stop or swerve. It was as if she drove straight into the accident. People began to wonder what really happened that night. Now those whispers have returned, and new rumors are stirring that something about Kyla's death might not have been an accident after all. According to sources, a phone call made by Kyla shortly before her crash has become a key piece of the investigation. In the call, Kyla was crying. Her voice was shaking. Whatever she was dealing with, it wasn't calm or ordinary. The person who heard the call says it sounded more like a cry for help than a regular check-in. Investigators who listened to the audio said it deeply unsettled them. Kyla seemed scared and upset. Some believe she was trying to warn someone about something, but she never got the chance. After that phone call, Brooke was contacted by the police and taken in for questioning. She wasn't a suspect, but investigators believed she might know more than she had previously shared. While she was never arrested or officially accused of anything, the fact that she was questioned shows just how serious this case has become. Throughout her time in the public eye, Brooke often spoke about her love for Kyla. She shared pictures and messages about their bond. But there was always one thing missing. She never talked about Kyla's father. Over the years, fans noticed that Brooke never mentioned him. No name, no backstory, just silence. At the time, most people thought she was simply being a protective mother. But now, some believe that silence may have been hiding something much bigger. Recently, unconfirmed rumors have begun to spread, suggesting that Kyla's biological father may have been involved in serious criminal activity. And not just regular crime federal-level charges, the kind of thing that makes people stay quiet out of fear. Some reports say Brooke kept Kyla away from him on purpose to protect her. Others claim Brooke wanted complete control over what Kyla knew, who she talked to, and what she was allowed to say. That's where things start to shift. One theory that's gaining attention is that Kyla may have recently learned the truth about her father, not just his name, but his past. Some believe she was planning to speak out. Maybe through interviews, social media posts, or even a podcast. She might have been ready to tell her side of the story. That final phone call, full of fear and urgency, might have been Kyla trying to tell her mother that she'd spoken to someone she shouldn't have. Maybe even her father. And perhaps what she learned was so dangerous that others didn't want it getting out. Shortly after police began quietly reopening the investigation into Kyla's crash, Brooke was removed from Basketball Wives. It happened almost immediately after the phone call recording was reviewed. No warning, no explanation. Unlike most cast exits, which usually involve public statements, goodbye scenes, or at least a social media post, Brooke's exit came with total silence. Shaunie didn't even unfollow her. She just ended her involvement with the show completely and suddenly. People in the industry started to connect the dots. Did Shaunie find out something behind the scenes? Was the network worried about being dragged into a criminal case? Or did they just want to avoid being part of a scandal they couldn't control? According to sources close to production, the entire team was shaken by how serious the investigation had become. VH1 and the show's producers reportedly wanted to distance themselves before anything exploded publicly. Once Brooke was seen as a risk instead of a benefit, she was cut off. No one is officially accusing Brooke of anything. There are no charges. Just questions that still don't have answers. Once the news of Brooke's removal became public, fans took to social media in large numbers. Some expressed shock and heartbreak. They saw a grieving mother being pushed aside at a time when she was already suffering an unbearable loss. Supporters posted comments like, "They really cut her after everything she's been through? She's being thrown under the bus to protect someone else." Brooke deserves justice for her daughter, not silence. Others, however, were more cautious. Some fans think Brooke might have been hiding something. They point to how secretive she was about Kyla's father. They say it seems like too much was being kept quiet, and maybe not for the right reasons. I've never been comfortable with how Brooke responded to the accident. If Kyla was about to speak up, what would she have said? Longtime viewers of Basketball Wives are divided. Some are demanding that Shaunie release a statement explaining why Brooke was removed so suddenly. Others think this was all done to protect the show's image, not the truth. Whether Brooke was hiding something from her daughter or just doing what she thought was best, her silence now speaks volumes. This is no longer just about a reality TV show. It's about real people, real pain, and a real tragedy that still doesn't make sense. As of now, the investigation into Kyla's death is still open. Police are taking another look at the crash, who Kyla spoke to before it happened, and whether there's more to the story than anyone has admitted. Brooke hasn't spoken publicly since being let go. She hasn't posted interviews, tweets, or updates. Nobody knows if she's staying silent by choice or if someone has told her not to talk. But people are watching closely, because what started as a TV storyline is now a real-life mystery, and it's far from solved. So, what do you think? Was Brooke Bailey unfairly removed from Basketball Wives? Or is this only the beginning of a much deeper story? Should Shaunie Henderson explain her decision, or does she know something the public doesn't? This situation has become about more than reality TV. It's about truth, justice, and the choices people make when they think no one is looking. And whether Brooke speaks out or someone else does, one thing is certain: this story is not over. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I really appreciate you spending your time with me, whether you watched the whole thing or just caught a part of it. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It might seem like a small action, but it really helps the channel grow and reach more people. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I've got more content coming your way that you won't want to miss. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Was there something that stood out to you? Or maybe a question you'd like me to answer in a future video? Drop your comments below, and I'll do my best to reply to as many as I can. If you want to stay connected, be sure to follow me on social media. The links are in the description box below. I usually post behind-the-scenes content, updates, and a few fun extras you won't see on the channel. Thanks again for watching. Stay safe, stay kind, and take care of yourself and others. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace, love, and good vibes.